thought my dad was the perfect family man until I found a box in the attic with photos of a secret child and love letters to another woman. What I uncovered next shattered everything I believed and led me to a brother I never knew existed. I never thought I'd be the kind of person to air out family drama online, but I genuinely don't know how to deal with this. I, 22F, found out something about my father that has completely shattered the way I see my family. And the worst part, I was never supposed to find out. A little background. I grew up in what looked like the perfect household. My dad, let's call him Mark, was the fun, goofy one who made everyone laugh, and my mom, Susan, was the strong, organized one who kept everything running smoothly. I have an older brother, Jake, 25M, and a younger sister, Lily, 16F. We weren't rich, but we were comfortable. Family barbecues, Christmas mornings in matching pajamas, vacations to the lake every summer. It all felt so normal, so stable. Until last month. It started with something so stupid. I was at home for the weekend and went into the attic looking for an old yearbook. My mom keeps boxes of family stuff up there, labeled in her neat handwriting. I found the yearbook pretty fast, but I also stumbled on a box I'd never seen before. No label, just tucked behind some other bins. I should have left it alone. I know that, but something about the way it was hidden made me curious. Inside were mostly old letters and photos, a few trinkets from what looked like the early 2000s. I assumed it was more of Mom's stuff, until I saw a small envelope with my dad's handwriting on it. It was addressed to someone named L. No last name. Just L. Inside the envelope was a photograph that stopped me cold. It was my dad, holding a baby. But it wasn't me or Jake or Lily. This baby looked mixed race. Darker skin, curly black hair. I know that sounds specific, but our whole family is white. Pale white. There's no mistaking it. There was a date on the back, July 2007. Which was weird, because Lily was born in March 2008. I never thought I'd be the kind of person to air out family drama online, but I genuinely don't know how to deal with this. I, 22F, found out something about my father that has completely shattered the way I see my family. And the worst part, I was never supposed to find out. A little background. I grew up in what looked like the perfect household. My dad, let's call him Mark, was the fun, goofy one who made everyone laugh, and my mom, Susan, was the strong, organized one who kept everything running smoothly. I have an older brother, Jake, 25M, and a younger sister, Lily, 16F. We weren't rich, but we were comfortable. Family barbecues, Christmas mornings in matching pajamas, vacations to the lake every summer. It all felt so normal, so stable. Until last month. It started with something so stupid. I was at home for the weekend and went into the attic looking for an old yearbook. My mom keeps boxes of family stuff up there, labeled in her neat handwriting. I found the yearbook pretty fast, but I also stumbled on a box I'd never seen before. No label, just tucked behind some other bins. I should have left it alone. I know that, but something about the way it was hidden made me curious. Inside were mostly old letters and photos, a few trinkets from what looked like the early 2000s. I assumed it was more of Mom's stuff, until I saw a small envelope with my dad's handwriting on it. It was addressed to someone named L. No last name. Just L. Inside the envelope was a photograph that stopped me cold. It was my dad, holding a baby. But it wasn't me or Jake or Lily. This baby looked mixed race. Darker skin, curly black hair. I know that sounds specific, but our whole family is white. Pale white. There's no mistaking it. There was a date on the back, July 2007. Which was weird, because Lily was born in March 2008. At first, I thought maybe it was an old picture of my cousin or a friend's baby. But the look on my dad's face, it wasn't casual. It was intimate, proud, like the way he looked at us in our baby pictures that still hang in the hallway. I kept digging through the box. More letters. Most of them were folded neatly, with L written in the corner. Some had little hearts, all in my dad's handwriting. I couldn't bring myself to read them at first, so I focused on the pictures. There were at least a dozen. Him at a park, holding hands with a woman I didn't recognize, brown skin, long dark hair, gorgeous smile. Then there was one with a woman and the same baby again, this time clearly a toddler. My dad was in that photo too. They looked like a family. I finally opened one of the letters. The first line hit me in the gut. I hate pretending you and our son don't exist. Our son. I had to sit down. The attic was hot and dusty, but I didn't care. My mind was spiraling. My dad had another kid? A whole secret family? And from the dates, it was around the same time my mom was pregnant with Lily. Suddenly, so many memories started flashing through my head. That weird 2-week business trip my dad took in late 2007. The random fights my parents used to have that we weren't allowed to hear. The time I overheard my mom crying alone in the bathroom but told me it was because of a movie. I took a picture of the photo and a few of the letters. I didn't want to steal them, but I needed proof. I needed time to figure out what the hell this meant. I didn't sleep that night. I kept looking at the photos over and over again. That boy, he'd be 17 or 18 now. Just a year or two older than Lily. Did he know about us? Did my mom know about him? The next day, I drove back to my apartment early and called Jake. He didn't answer, so I left him a voice note. I found something about Dad. I need to talk. It's serious. 5 minutes later, he called me back. And the first thing he said wasn't what happened. It was, "Did you find the box?" My heart dropped when Jake said that. "Wait, what do you mean did I find the box?" I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. There was a long pause. Then he sighed. "I found it last year during Christmas break," he said. "I was looking for the tree lights, and it fell out of the shelf. I didn't tell anyone. I didn't know what to do." "You knew about this and said nothing?" I snapped, feeling anger rise in my throat. "I didn't know how to bring it up," he said. "I figured if it was something Dad had buried, maybe it was ancient history. I thought it would blow up everything for no reason. I didn't think you'd find it too." I couldn't believe it. My own brother had been sitting on this bombshell for months. "But it's not ancient history," I said. "The last letter in there was from 2019. Jake went quiet. "I didn't see that one," he muttered. "Dad's been in contact with them," I said, pacing my apartment. "That means this wasn't just a fling. He was actively hiding another family while being here with us." "Do you think Mom knows?" he asked, voice low. "I don't know," I whispered. "But how could she not? Lily was born just months after that kid. They had to overlap." We decided to meet up that night. I brought the photos and the letter I had scanned. Jake brought a bottle of whiskey. We sat in his car for over 2 hours, flipping through the images, reading lines of the letters like they were evidence in a murder case. The way Dad wrote to Elle was emotional, not just lusty. He talked about missing her laugh, dreaming of their son's future, even about running away. But he never did. He stayed. With us. And I couldn't stop wondering why. Why didn't he leave? Why did he stay in our house, raise us, and pretend like this other part of his life didn't exist? And then Jake said something that made my stomach churn. What if he didn't stay for us, but because it was easier? That thought haunted me for days. What if Dad didn't stay out of love or responsibility, but convenience? What if we were the family he settled for, while his heart belonged somewhere else? I started watching him more closely. His habits, his moods. He still cracked jokes at dinner, helped Lily with homework, kissed Mom on the cheek before leaving for work. Everything looked normal, but now I couldn't unsee the cracks. One afternoon, I waited until everyone was out and confronted Mom. I couldn't hold it in anymore. "Did Dad ever cheat on you?" Her expression didn't change at first. She just blinked. "What kind of question is that?" I explained how I'd found the box, the letters, the pictures, and something in her eyes just dimmed. She didn't deny it. Instead, she walked to the kitchen, poured herself a glass of wine in the middle of the day, and sat down like her legs couldn't hold her anymore. "I was going to tell you kids after Lily graduated," she said softly. "I wanted to wait until you were all grown, old enough to understand." "So you knew?" I asked, stunned. "I found out years ago." I confronted him. He admitted it, said it was over, that he made a mistake. "Was it over?" She hesitated. "He promised it was. But you don't believe him." She didn't answer that. I felt sick. My whole childhood had been built on a lie. And Mom, she knew. She let us grow up thinking we had the perfect family, while quietly carrying this pain all alone. "Why did you stay?" I asked. Her eyes welled up, but her voice was steady. "Because of you. Because I didn't want you growing up in a broken home. Because I thought love could survive betrayal. And maybe because I was scared to start over. I didn't know what to say. I wanted to scream, to cry, to run. But the worst was yet to come. Because when I checked Dad's messages that night, yes, I went through his phone, I found something new. A contact saved as Lily's tutor, and a recent text that said, "He looks just like you now. I told him you'll reach out soon." I stared at the message in disbelief. "He looks just like you now. I told him you'll reach out soon." I felt like I couldn't breathe. So many questions slammed into my brain at once. Was Dad still in contact with Elle? Was their son expecting to meet him? Was he planning to bring this kid into our lives now, after all these years of hiding him? And the name, Lily's tutor, was that just a cover? A way to hide messages, right under Mom's nose? I couldn't ignore it anymore. I took screenshots, sent them to Jake with the caption, "You were right. It's not over." Jake called me 2 minutes later. "We need to confront him." I wasn't ready, but I knew we had to. The secrecy was suffocating me. I felt like a stranger in my own family. We decided to wait until the weekend, when everyone would be home. No excuses. No distractions. That Saturday, Jake and I sat in the living room, waiting like cops ready to make an arrest. Dad walked in with groceries and smiled like always. Then he saw our faces, and he knew. He put the bags down slowly and sat across from us. "All right," he said quietly. "Let's talk." I pulled up the photo first. The one with him and the baby. His face didn't flinch. Then the letters. The one where he said he hated pretending. Still calm. Finally, I showed him the message. The one from Lily's tutor. That's when he broke. His shoulders slumped. He looked tired. Older. "I'm sorry," he said, voice cracking. "I never meant for you to find out like this." "Then how were we supposed to find out?" I snapped. "Were you ever going to tell us?" "I didn't know how," he whispered. "I didn't plan any of it. Lila and I, it started before Lily was born. I was stupid. I thought I could walk away. But when she told me about the baby, I panicked." "So you lied to all of us for 17 years? Jake said. Dad nodded slowly. "I stayed because I love your mother. Because I love you. But I loved him too. My son. I just didn't know how to live in both worlds." The room was silent. I realized I didn't even know the boy's name. "Does he know about us?" I asked. Dad hesitated, then said, "Yes. He's always known. I used to visit quietly. But he's older now. He wants to meet you. He wants to meet you." The words echoed in my head like a siren. I looked at Jake. His jaw clenched, fists curled, so tight his knuckles turned white. I stood up. "You're out of your mind if you think we're ready for that." "I'm not asking you to meet him tomorrow," Dad said quickly. I wanted you to know it's coming. He's been asking about you too for years." "For years?" I asked. "So not only did you lie to us, but you kept feeding him this fantasy that one day he'd be part of our lives." "He is part of my life," he said, "whether you like it or not. I never stopped loving him." "And what about Mom?" Jake snapped. "Did you stop loving her?" Dad didn't answer. That was answer enough. I walked out. I needed air. I needed to be anywhere else. Jake followed me out, and we just stood there in the driveway, both of us too stunned to speak. Eventually, Jake muttered, "We have a brother." I laughed. Not because it was funny, but because everything felt surreal. We had a brother. A teenage boy who had been living his life, knowing about us. Wondering. Waiting. And we'd had no idea. Later that night, I texted Mom and told her we confronted Dad. She didn't respond until the next morning. All she said was, "I always hoped the truth would come out after I was gone. I never wanted you to carry this burden." That broke me. This wasn't just a betrayal between lovers. This was a fracture that split the entire foundation of our family. It changed how I saw my parents, how I saw myself. Because if Dad could lie for 17 years, who else in my life was pretending? A few days later, I got a message from an unknown number. Just 3 words. "Hi, I'm Eli." I didn't reply. I stared at it for hours. His name was Eli. My brother. Jake, and I haven't told Lily yet. She still thinks everything's fine. But I can't look her in the eye without feeling like I'm hiding a bomb under the dinner table. Dad hasn't said much since. He's giving us space, whatever that means. But I know he's talking to Eli. I don't know what happens next. Do I meet him? Do I let this person into my life? Or do I bury this truth like Dad tried to for nearly 2 decades? It's been 2 weeks since Eli messaged me, and I still haven't replied. Every day, I open my phone, reread his text, and then put it away. Part of me wants to know him. The other part resents him. Not because it's his fault, but because his existence is a constant reminder of everything my dad destroyed. Jake's been handling it differently. He's angry, louder about it. I caught him deleting all the photos of Dad from our shared family drive. He said he wasn't erasing him, just adjusting the truth. Meanwhile, Mom's been quiet. She's barely speaking to Dad. They still live in the same house, but it's like 2 ghosts floating around each other. I asked her if she was going to leave him. I don't know, she said. I don't even know who I've been married to. As for Lily, she's still in the dark. But not for long. Last night, she found Jake and me whispering in the garage. She demanded to know what was going on. At first, we tried brushing it off. She wouldn't let it go. So Jake told her. Her reaction wasn't what I expected. No screaming. No crying. Just a long, quiet stare. Then, finally, she said, "Is that why Mom's been sleeping on the couch?" I blinked. "You noticed." "I'm not stupid," she said. I knew something was going on. Just didn't think it was this. She hasn't said much since. I think she's still processing. We all are. Today, I did something I didn't think I'd do. I replied to Eli. I said, "Hi. I'm not sure I'm ready to talk, but I saw your message. I just need time." He responded within minutes. "Take all the time you need. I've been waiting my whole life. I'm not going anywhere." That hit harder than I expected. This kid, my half-brother, has been waiting his whole life for a family he was never allowed to have. A family that was hidden from him, that I was part of. And now I have to decide. Do I slam the door shut like Dad did to him for years? Or do I open it, even if it hurts? This morning, I woke up to another message from Eli. Just wanted to say I hope you're doing okay. I know this probably turned your whole world upside down. It did the same to mine years ago. I don't know why, but this time I cried. Not out of anger. Not even sadness. Just exhaustion. Of carrying the secret. Of pretending I'm okay. Of seeing my family fall apart in slow motion. I called Jake. "I think I want to meet him," I said. He was silent for a few seconds. Then, "If you do, I'll come with you." I didn't expect that. "I thought you wanted nothing to do with him." "I still don't know how I feel," he said. "But he didn't ask for this. None of us did. And if he's our brother, maybe he deserves something better than silence. So we're going to meet him. This weekend. Neutral place, just coffee. No pressure. I don't even know what I'll say. But maybe that's okay. As for Dad, he still hasn't looked me in the eye. He knows we're meeting Eli. When I told him, he just nodded and said, "Thank you." Not "I'm sorry." Not "I love you." Just "thank you." I don't know if I'll ever fully forgive him. I don't think any of us will. But maybe, just maybe, we can turn this mess into something real. Maybe Eli isn't just the symbol of a lie, but a new beginning. A piece of truth we can choose to embrace, rather than bury like Dad did. I've spent weeks feeling like my whole identity was shattered. But now I see it differently. My family isn't what I thought it was. But maybe that's not the end of the world. Maybe it's just the start of a different story.